Okay. And also, when the user clicks on submit, we also want to set form valid here to be false. We also want to set success to be false. So anytime the user clicks this, everything is set as false. The loading spinner is set so that all the error messages or successful messages are cleared beforehand, and then everything can start from scratch. So over here now, let's try something. Let's say Ninja Coder. Ninja Coder .com. I think we've used this email already. Let's check. We've already used this email. So let's just use that. And we'll say here, how are you? How are you? Okay, so this is taking a little bit of a while. Why is that? It's saying here, showing error. Email already in use. Now, because this email has already been used, let's come back here to the fetch. Data, so success console data. The data have been consoled, but set loading is still ranging, so it's supposed to be false. Okay. True. This one valid false because everything is okay. Handle fetch, which is here. Fetch from this API. Submit this. No timeout. We're going to restart the server. Video 1, 3. So let's reset this. It's showing out our account was created successfully. How is that possible? Okay, the reason this is possible is because whether the message was successful or not, everything is still coming out as set success to be true. So what we're going to do, we're going to check our message. What we're going to do now, we're going to go back to our API. In our API here, we send the message success. I'm going to change this to a small letter. We send the message success if our account was created successfully. Else, we can see account creation successful and the rest. What we're going to do is we're going to come to our sign up here. We're going to do a check. We're going to say if data.message is not equal to if it's equal to success, we're going to do this. We're going to say set success true. Copy this. We're going to stop the loading spinner. We're going to take the success and set it here. Else, if it's not equal to success, we want to set form valid, because that means it's an error. We want to set form valid into the data.message that we get from our API. So let's go back to register. Let's refresh this. Go back to register. Our full name, Yakoda. Let's also use the same email at gmail.com. And the password, how are you? How are you? Register. So you see our account was created successfully. I wonder why that is, because we have the same email address here. Do we or do we not? In the same email address. So why is it giving us the same? Okay, let's check this. Let's check this properly. We insert the user into the database. Over here, we create a user with email and password. If this user ends up not being created, it's supposed to show us an error saying user already exists, which it has done before, but it's not doing that now. We also have it here. Okay, here it's saying email already in use. So why are we not getting that error? Why is that error not being translated here? It's supposed to bring this back for us. If there's an error here, it's supposed to bring this back rather than going to this. So our try is currently not working. So why is that? Why is that? We need to think, okay, very simple. I've already seen the reason. Now the reason is because when an error happens, this code here, it sends a response, account creation unsuccessful, but because there is no return statement, the code continues and it comes to this, and this becomes the message it gives us. So what we're going to do, we're going to set return here. I'm going to try that again. So let's do that. Still showing us successful. Let's try and refresh. Let's refresh. Okay, let's try it. Then, how are you? Yeah. Okay, so that isn't working. That is not working at all. So we set a return here. We do a response here, and then success here. Constant user to create user email and password. Add documents. How many documents did I add in so far? Let's check that. Okay, so it's just adding more documents, but in the authentication, it's still just one. So scripts. So I'm trying to find out what the problem is. Why is it that our code is let me see. Oh wait, we're going to class log this. And let's see what information we're getting back from Firebase. Okay, so it says code auth email already in use. Okay, which is correct. We're going to come back to auth. Says email is already in use. Okay, so if email is already in use, it should. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to come here. We're going to. Okay, we're already console login user. What we're going to do, we're going to do a check to see what information we get from here. And if we see that information, then we're going to end the whole function and return this, because it seems like this is not giving us an error if it's an email already in use. It's only going to give us an error maybe if there's a network error. So what we're going to do, we're going to see what it will give us if we create a brand new email. So let's do this. Also, it's supposed to be await, because it's an async function, and we're awaiting a promise from here. I just remembered that from here. All right, so let's try and do this again. Let's choose the same email. Okay, all right, so that was the issue. Because I know Firebase obviously will give you an error if you try to use the same email to create in the database. So as you can see, if we use the same email, it's going to give us an unsuccessful alert, which is nice. So let's try and create another email. just like this. Now, if we click this button, this is supposed to be cleared out. So you can see it is cleared out and everything's restarted all over again. And here it's showing us that it was successful. Now we need a little bit of margin top up here. So we're going to go to our sign up page. And we're going to go to the success here. I'm going to just margin top 4. Okay, so that is beautiful. So your account was created successfully. Now over here we have something here showing already signed up login. So we're going to create this now. We're going to create that at the bottom of this place here for our user. So we're going to come to our code. We're going to go to our register sign up code. We're going to go to the bottom. Give class name. Matching top. Let's add some top up. Then we're going to create bold class name. Underline. Decoration. Solution. Range. I'm going to change this. Forgot password. Okay, no, not this, not this. Sorry, this is for our login. We're going to say already. What does it say here again? Already signed up. Okay. Already signed up. And we're going to create div with a class name of badge. And this is from this UI. Let's just take a look at that quickly. We have badge. So just something like this. And if we see the code, let's just copy this. Copy it. Scan this. And paste it. All right. So we want to also add a little bit of margin to it. Margin at the both sides. And we want, if the person uses a cursor to it, we want it to be a cursor pointer. And here we want to say register. Now we want to go to our index. Yeah. And we want to pass in the function of the function that we use to switch the tabs. So we want to pass in the function. We're going to pass on, we will say set checked equals to. Okay. We're going to set checked. So we're going to be able to change this here from false to true. So if we pass this through the sign up, we come here. We are going to say on click. Before we do that, we need to pass in the props. Come up here. I'll say props. Then we come here. I will say on click. Props dot set checked. True. All right. So we want to come here and set on click props dot set check true. So once we do that, let's go back to our code. Switch here and let's click it. So it's not doing anything because true is for the sign up page and false is for the, you guessed it, login page. So let's make that false. And click here. Why is our application malfunctioning? Okay, let's go back to our code. Index. What's the problem? What's the problem? Set checked. Okay. This is false to start with. Come back here. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I think the problem is how I use the function in the onClick. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this instead. And we're going to say props.setChecked false. Okay, so when we click this, it switches us to our login. So our register section is pretty much done. The other thing is that the password, we need to make it password so that this doesn't show. So what we're going to do, we're just going to come to the text field here and make this password. This password. Email, text. All right. So let's check that. All right. So everything is already set. And then now we can work on our login over here so that we can get to work. Now in our login, we're going to our login page. All right, so we've already worked on this a bit. We don't need the name error here. Anything we don't need, let's get rid of it. We don't need this. We just need this error states. From validity, undo password error, undo submits, register your account. We're going to come here and pass in the same thing we passed here. Copy that, paste that here. Then when we come back, we're going to go to our sign up. We're going to highlight all of this. We're going to copy. We're coming to our login to highlight everything. We're going to paste. Then we're going to come up here and change this into the login. Okay, we don't need name. We don't need confirm, because we're still using the same validation and everything here. Handle name error below. Not needed. Email, confirm password. We need to check this as well. Here, just clear all of this. Just handle fetch. Also, in our sign up, we can remove the commented section here, because now this is validations. So over here, we're going to leave that for now. We're going to come to our full name. This div starts from here. Clear that out. Leave the password. Clear the confirm password. Unchanged set the password input. Alright, so you can wipe this out. From valid success. We're not going to need this pretty much, but we're just going to leave that for now. Log into your account. Let's have an account. Yes, register. So here it should be true. And over here, sign up. Already signed up. Login. All right, so login page now. Refresh. Okay, let's also open that password and the password. I always say, if there's nothing confirm password, no. It's if there's nothing in password inputs. Okay, so this check password will now be check for the password inputs, rather. All right, so now the handle block confirm password. I think all of that is set. Block password. Okay. All right, so all of that is set. And I believe we can start working on our login in code. We're still going to use the all right. So for login, we're going to create a very special API. Now this API is a special API with the use of NextAuth. How do we create this API? We're going to come to our API folder, auth, and instead of creating how do I call it, simple API like we did with the sign up, we're going to create API here with square brackets. We're going to name it, has to be named exactly like this. So please follow my naming convention. 3 dots, and after the 3 dots, NextAuth.js. Okay, so it has to be named like this. All right. So once we do that, we're going to import from essentials. We're going to import NextAuth from NextAuth. Also going to import providers from NextAuth providers. Okay, after that, need some sort of way I says in that on the line. We're going to import. We're going to create a new validation method for. But let's leave that for now. We'll do that once we get to that section. We're going to also import auths. From our lib authentication Firebase config. Then we also need to import sign-in with email and password from Firebase. Now, let's get started. What we're going to do, we're going to export default NextAuth session. We're going to use JTW. It sets this automatically, but you should also try and specify it. You know, one thing we could always specify when needed, so you don't get errors later on. Okay, providers square brackets dot credentials, and so async authorize no, sorry. All right, so now we're going to create our login in code inside here. The first thing we need to do, we need to get the email and password. So we're going to get that with data array structure, email password. We're going to get that from our credentials. All right, then we need to validate the inputs. So what we're going to do, we're going to pass this. We're going to say constant in the same way we did in our sign up. Information status equals to what we're going to do, we're going to go to our lib validations, server-side validation. I'm going to export constant login data validation. Okay. And this is going to take two things, email and password. All right, so here we're already doing that. So we're going to check. We're going to check first. We're going to say if there's nothing in the email and there's nothing in the password, or there's nothing in the password, rather, return false. Okay. Then the email, we're going to just copy this from here. Copy and paste. Save. We're going to go back to our here. I'm going to say login, data validation. So we're going to pass in the email and the password. Okay, once we pass in that, we're going to say if it comes out as false, just immediately throw new error, and say invalid inputs. All right, after that, we're going to check for the user, if the user actually exists. And now with Firebase, this comes as just a simple function, signing with email and password. And once you sign in, you get back feedback of the any information you need from the user. So we're going to just say constant user equals to await and sign in email and password, passing auth and email and password. All right, so that's that. What are we going to do next? We're going to say if the user dot error, if we get an error, that means the user is not found. We're going to say true new error, no user found. All right, then if we've passed through that and the user was found, we're going to say return to NextAuth. We're going to return it to NextAuth, email user, the user, because this is how it comes out from Firebase. I've done a video on this already. I'm going to put in the link in the description. There's so many videos I have to link to. So return the email, the user.email, or you can just say return email equals this email that the user sent, because yes, it did exist if you just want to do that. But I will do it this way, and that is that for our login code. So now we're going to go back to our login page, and we're going to write the code now for the submission. For our submission here, let's log into your account, login, everything is set there. Okay. Now our handle submits needs to be a async function. We're not going to use this fetch because we're going to be using NextAuth to sign in rather than using the API. All right, so spinner set. All right, that's good. Set from valid. Okay, no, this spinner. Now sign up page. Where do we start this spinner? The spinner shouldn't start from here. The spinner should start. Sorry. The spinner should start from here. After all these checks I've been going through successfully, then the spinner should start. So I'm going to take the spinner. I'm going to put it here. All right. So now we're going to clear this. Sign in. We're going to come up here. I'm going to import sign in.